Around 94% of all new content published online is going to be influenced by AI. 60% of marketers' jobs today will be gone by 2028 because obviously AI will enable those people who can use the software to do so much more. We will give people time and space to learn, but they need to do some self-learning. That we need a constant mindset of self-learning and improving because this thing is changing so fast. If we can find someone that's open and keen to learn and has an interest in developing their own skills and being able to do more, then you're going to have a market here that can do incredible things. If you implement AI correctly, you can scale and do some things that you alone could never do.
Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to your show, E-Coffee with Experts. This is your host, Ranmay here. And today we have Ciaran Connolly, who is the founder and director at ProfileTree with us. Hey, Ciaran, how's it going?
Brilliant. And thank you again for having me on the podcast. Excited to talk all things digital marketing today.
Why don't you talk us through your journey a bit, how it all started, how is it going, and also a bit about ProfileTree, what you guys do, what are your core offerings, and we'll take it off from there.
Of course, yeah. It feels like 100 years ago now, but I was very interested in digital marketing, working in retail actually, and moving some of our brands online, dealing with agencies, and I could see, okay, that this e-commerce thing is going to be hot, and I decided to go out on my own and start consulting and helping other businesses and retail brands move online, and I was the middleman between them and finding a good agency. And then, as I say, I thought, okay, I can take this a step further, and founded ProfileTree in 2011, and the rest to say is history. We build websites, we specialize in WordPress and Shopify, do a lot of content creations, video content, written content, obviously slightly impacted with the AI now. And then we do a lot of training, and we do a lot of AI training at the moment. So helping businesses integrate AI into their operations. So that's a big growth area for us today.
Lovely, lovely. And you're being humble, right? You have grown the ProfileTree as a setup from a small operation into an award-winning agency now. So what is that one strategic decision or, the main levers that you kind of ensure were in place that changed the trajectory?
Totally. It's again, day one, I was consuming a lot of content online, go back to 2010, 2009, a lot of content and enjoying blogs. So we leaned into that. That was our strategy. So today we've 3,500 articles on ProfileTree. We have 3 YouTube channels for the brand with over 2,000 videos published, one for video content or for website content, one for digital marketing content. And our team have just started a in-house team podcast, again, to build out their knowledge and skills and expertise and positioning piece, and back to expertise, authority and trust as well. So content creation has been massive for us, and that has led to so many organic leads and visits to our website, which we've been able to convert into customers, I'm glad to say, over the years. And obviously today, even your content machine is very impressive as well. So I think, yeah, we can definitely all learn from some of what you're doing too.
Lovely, lovely. And talk us through about AI, Ciaran. It has been more than 2.5 years now. What was your first, impression when ChatGPT and all the tools kind of came through, right? And how have you seen the last 2.5 years transition into what we are today?
No, it's incredible. We went back through our catalog of content creation. We found a video on our YouTube channel that we created 8 years ago with a software called Lumen 5. And that was, I guess, the equivalent of AI back in the day. You take the URL of a web page, put it in, it would crawl the page, pull out keywords and phrases. It would get some B-roll content and add it in the video. And we put that video up on YouTube, and it was, what is Facebook? And again, that got 36,000 views, as I say, 8 years ago, which is incredible. Yeah, you're totally right. GPT 3.5, which really changed everything, is out 3 years now, which is shocking. It was the 30th of November 2022 when it launched. It feels like it was yesterday, but it's actually 3 years.
Yeah,
We would have been doing a lot of content.
You're right.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of content creation, and there was a little bit of panic, I'll be honest, because what we found is some clients were cancelling retainers for content because they were starting to use ChatGPT and do it themselves. But how things have moved on, again, I was doing some research and looking, like Lovable, the website builder. So they were saying that they had 2.5 million users, signed up users in July, but in 2025, but in June alone, they've created 2.5 million websites. So 10% of all the new websites launched worldwide in that month were created by Lovable, which again is an app that maybe wasn't even thought of maybe a year before that. So again, what's happening in AI and where we are today in that short period of time is just incredible and scary.
Absolutely. And you have been in the game for quite some time. As per your experience, Karen, a lot of agencies today struggle to differentiate, right? So, what is those tricks for strategic positioning that move that help Profile Tree stand apart in a crowded space as digital marketing agencies is?
Yeah, I think a lot of agencies would sell a service or a solution, but they maybe don't walk the walk or practice what they're preaching. So again, when you see a maybe a paid ad agency or running paid ads or selling paid ads, but they don't have them running themselves, a content SEO agency selling SEO and they're not ranking too high themselves, a video production agency and they don't have a YouTube channel and lots of videos that they've produced themselves. So again, I think a key thing is walking the walk and letting people see what that you can do what you do. Again, back to it. So back to the video. So we sell videos, but we have our YouTube channels, and when we're talking to clients, we can actually share our own experience. These are the mistakes we made. This is where we got wins, and we can guide people along the path. I think it's a little bit frustrating. You see the consultant, maybe the LinkedIn consultant doing a training course in LinkedIn, and they've got 500 followers. It's back to being real and showcasing that you've got the key skills and the expertise to deliver on what you're selling.
Absolutely. And like you mentioned, 3 years now, right, from that day, when ChatGPT and everything came to life. So with AI overviews now, SG, LLM-led search, right, all of that kind of, hitting us and taking up the traffic that was originally or organically there, where should SMEs shift their, content priorities so they do not disappear from the new SERPs?
Yeah, of course, and we've seen it firsthand with a lot of our client sites and even our own site is informational content is a commodity now. You do not want to be creating any informational content. And I look back at all those articles now and we're going through a process of cleaning our own website and making decisions. Do we
Hmm.
remove some of that? Do we update it, or transform it into something
Yeah.
else? And a bigger level, so commercial intent content, that's the only content we're producing at the moment. And then it's the second
Hmm.
part of that is obviously building your topical authority and your brand as well. So we were talking about digital PR, critical, being
Yeah.
mentioned on other websites, critical in lists, very, very important. And again, I've read some content around where AIs tend to favor content that's been updated or written in the last 6 months. So news releases, press releases, but also going back in and updating your own website. These are all things that we're looking at and doing, and we're having some really good success with at the moment. But I think it's one of these areas that are going to keep developing and changing again. The the updates keep coming hard and fast, so it's very interesting. But yeah, they're the key things we're doing at the moment.
Absolutely. And talk us through your strategy of integrating video quite heavily in your content.
Yeah, so video is everything for us at the moment because, again, another stat I've seen is that by the end of this year, that around 94% of all new content published online is going to be influenced by AI. So again, you've got the
Yeah.
6%. So written content, of course, you can tell when someone's taken time and written amazing content, but there's some AI masters out there now creating content that just is so good. It's very hard to tell. Video is probably is a sweet spot at the moment. Obviously AI video is there and it's going to get better and better and better. But we'd find that we can record long video. You can cut it up into small sections. They're great for SEO and getting it out onto the usual Facebook Reels and TikTok and Instagram, LinkedIn and all these other platforms. And one of the things we're doing with video at the moment is we've got our team back to the upskilling of our team and keeping at the forefront of what's happening. Every 2 weeks, we have three of our team members book out 4 hours. They meet for 15 minutes, come up with a topic, then they go away and do some extra research, and then come back together 3 hours later, 3.5 hours later, and record a conversation of the three of them talking about their knowledge, but also what new things they found. So they've used that to upskill. But then we're actually pulling out then 2 podcasts out of that. So we're getting 2 long-form podcasts that we're sharing on YouTube and then sending out in our newsletters. And we're able to cut that up into small shorts. So we're getting our social media content as well. But it's also upskilling the team and they're keeping up to date with current trends. So it's ticking so many boxes. And that all starts with the creation idea of creating a video.
Absolutely. And over the period of time, tech SEO, technical SEO has also evolved, right? So, what technical signals, have gained importance due to the AI powered search now, which, And in which ones, as per you, have also lost relevance because of the AI searches happening now?
Yeah, and you'd have seen it too, I guess. There was a bit of a rage there for a couple of months about adding the new LLM text file to your website, so the LLMs could read your website. So obviously that fad is tailed off now, I think, a wee bit. And we're still looking at schema. We still think that's a good thing, good practice.
Hmm.
And I know a lot of people are saying, in between the lines, and we could debate that one, but we still see schema as helpful for search engines and for websites. Fast websites, of course, as ever. We on websites we're redesigning now, and new ones we're publishing. We're trying to actually look at the content flow and have a summary or the answer at the top of content, as opposed to having it near the bottom, which we would have forced people to scroll down. So it's actually changing our design of the websites as well. So they're the key technical things. And then the usual, having a really strong about us page, making sure that author profiles are visible, and back to that EAT, and having those supplementary pages built across the site. Another thing we're looking at right at this moment is accessibility on the website, just making sure that the website is very easy for, because it does feel like that's a little bit of a hot thing for the search engines at the moment. There's a new law out in the EU, summer in 2025. We all should have an accessibility statement on a website. So it's terms and conditions, privacy, and now an accessibility statement. So again, these are all things that we're trying to do to make sure that we are just easy to read, easy for the eyes and the search engines to find us, but also for our customers as well.
And like we have been talking about AIs, you have your own internal marketing, or rather training, segment of AI for your clients. It has literally become part of every workflow, right? I mean, not only us as an industry, but everyone else, across different businesses, verticals have adopted it. So, from an agency standpoint now, what competency will become non-negotiable? Or let's say from a marketing standpoint, what competency will become non-negotiable for marketers and us, as an industry as we move forward?
Again, I'm sorry, throwing out so many stats. I've just doing a talk and I was getting all these stats ready for it, so that's why. But they're fresh in my head. But again, it's another one I've seen is that 60% of marketers' jobs today will be gone by 2028, because obviously AI will enable those people who can use the software to do so much more. And I would say in the
Yeah.
back of that, because obviously we've got digital marketers in our team, and what we're saying to them is it's all about self-learning. So we will give people time and space to learn, but they need to do some self-learning. The degrees that everyone invested in years ago in their life, they're maybe out of date by now, and we need a constant mindset of self-learning and improving, because this thing is changing so fast. And that's probably a big one for us. If we can find someone that's open and keen to learn and has an interest in developing their own skills and being able to do more, then you're going to have a market here that can do incredible things. And that's it. So for us, it's an interest and keenness to self-learn and develop. And if you've got that, then you're going to do well, because yeah, what worked even last month isn't necessarily going to work next month. And as I think this train is just going to get faster.
Absolutely. And with so many years in the business, Karen, I mean, you have dealt with quite a few clients across different industries, right? But if you were to pick that one favorite client story of yours, which one would that be?
Yes. So again, it's probably a manufacturing company here in Northern Ireland that exports internationally. Again, going in and looking at their old entire website, improving the content, the structure on it, their keywords, building the backlinks, building their authority, getting them mentioned and published in relevant publications locally, nationally, and internationally, and then growing their traffic to a point that it added 25% to the revenue after 1 year, which is transformational for a large manufacturing company. And that's from leads from new markets that they weren't exporting to previously. And it is a case of going to the country, like going to the US, going to Finland, going to all of these different countries, looking at what the searches are and creating topical clusters and content for those. All of a
Mhm.
sudden, that brand is starting to rank there, getting local mentions and building links to those pages. So all of a sudden, that brand is starting to be trusted, and then encouraging them to create a YouTube channel and create a volume of YouTube videos to layer into that, embed them in the website. And again, so they're a client now. This will be their third year and rolling on for great success. And again, the beautiful thing is we're seeing them in position multiple positions on page one because obviously they've got their website, they've got their YouTube videos, and they're being mentioned in press releases in different countries around the world. So they're very happy. They're not being impacted by much of a negative noise around anything in the economy, and going from strength to strength. So when you see that, it gives you real buzz and a drive
Yeah.
to do more.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for our young listeners today, Karen, what would that one piece of advice you'd want to give them if they are planning to break through, start their own entrepreneurship journey, start their own agency? What would be your advice to them?
Yeah, lean into AI, and you can scale. You can do loads of things.
Yeah.
Again, 12 months ago you would have needed a writer. Today, with good prompts and understanding how to use the LLMs properly, you don't need a writer. You don't need a video editor, maybe, because you can create and edit videos using AI and HeyGen and Descript websites. You can build them. So again, maybe it's not having 30 or 50 people straight away, but you can, if you implement AI correctly, you can scale and do some things that you alone could never do. So that's, if I was starting today, I'd be just
Lovely, lovely. Now, before we call it a day, Karen, I would love to play a quick rapid fire with you. I hope you're game for it.
already.
All right, your last Google search.
It was probably stats. God, I'll be honest, don't Google search anymore. It's AI search. It's a long time ago.
Okay, what was
Equivalent
that?
for a business, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So stats on AI implementation.
All right. And your celebrity crush.
Oh my goodness. Michelle Pfeiffer going back years.
What did you do with your first paycheck? First paycheck of your life.
Gosh. Bought a lot of food, and I remember going to a big fancy takeaway and buying loads of food for my family and friends.
Lovely. About business, what is that one thing that would like to change if given an opportunity about ProfileTree going back in time?
Oh, back in time. Wow. Yeah. Gosh. Probably the one biggest mistake we made, loads of, again, as I mentioned, 2,000 videos on YouTube. What we didn't do, we didn't repurpose that video content for all of the other platforms. So we should have posted them into Pinterest, onto LinkedIn, onto X, onto Facebook, onto Instagram, and other platforms. So we did 90% of the work. A lot of people do 90% of the hard work. We missed the 10% to get the maximum reach out of it.
And finally, where do we find Karen on Friday evenings after office or after weaving those CEO digital marketing AI magic for your clients?
Gosh, probably collapsed on the couch, I'll be honest, watching a movie on Netflix. That's probably it with the family. So yeah, just chilling, taking time out before it starts again.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Karen. This has been a brilliant conversation. I'm sure our audience would love the insights you shared today. And yeah, I mean, really appreciate you taking out time to do this with us. Thanks again, man.
Thank you. Thank you.